All right, guys, welcome to this episode of Vertcoin Talk. I want to thank you guys for joining us here today. This is a very special one. This has been a talk that's been in the making for over a year and a half. And this is something that, we haven't done in just about 2 years. So we are 2 years removed from when we did the hard fork of Lara 2 Rev 2 to Lara 2 Rev 3. And as you can see here on the screen, you can see that we have a revamped when VTC fork.xyz to now we are hard forking away from Lara 2 Rev 3 to Verthash. Verthash is here. Verthash is done. Verthash is final. It is now in its final form, ready to take on the cryptocurrency world. So as you can see here, our estimated date for the fork is January 30th at 2:32 a.m. Eastern time. I do intend to try and stream the live fork. I know I tried doing that last time. I was just about a minute late with that because it sped up there right towards the end as a lot of miners started to switch over to mining Verthash as opposed to mining Lara 2 Rev 3. But 2:30 in the morning probably is not going to happen because it's a Saturday. But odds are if I'm up at 2:30 in the morning these days, it's because my 3-year-old has woken me up in the middle of the night, which anybody who is a parent understands completely what that's like. But currently we are on block 1,498,632, and the fork is scheduled for block 1,500,000. So we'll be switching right over to Verthash. Now, today, on today's broadcast, it's not just me today. So we do have a new, not a new developer. They've been with Vertcoin for a very long time, but JK, who is one of the chief architects behind Verthash. So Verthash really is JK, James Lovejoy, and Yurjep. This is their baby as far as the way that this has all been developed. And, Verthash is now in version 2 or version 3. We kept playing with it. We didn't necessarily like some of the security aspects of it and just the vulnerabilities that we thought were going to be there. So we ended up landing on this version here. Now, JK is going to kind of go through Verthash with us so that everybody is familiar with kind of what's going on with Verthash and understand that, Verthash is different than all the other algorithms that we've ever had on our blockchain. And one of the things that if anybody doesn't know, so this is kind of going to be like a crash course, how to survive a hard fork. What is a hard fork? Because there's not a lot of hard forks in the cryptocurrency world. Hard forks are very difficult. The entire network, or at least 51% of the network, does have to agree to the fork. But there's no going back, really. When you hard fork like that, especially with Verthash, there are components and parameters inside of the Verthash algorithm that really make it to where you can't go back. So when we do this, and this is something that I've preached over and over and over again whenever I do any of these talks, is the quality of the work that we do is much more important than the speed in which we do it. Now, trust me, it's been 2 years in the making, well, almost 2 years. Speed obviously is somewhat of a factor, especially if you have ASICs on your network and stuff and you're still trying to stick to a particular vision of this is going to be a GPU focused algorithm, unlike with Bitcoin and Litecoin and things of that nature where you have to have an ASIC in order to mine those. Vertcoin, the social compact that the development team has had with the community from day one, from 2014, is that this will be a GPU dominant algorithm. So the goal is average Joe can have their graphics card at home and they can mine on Vertcoin. Now, some of the cool stuff that JK is going to show us a little bit later is the ability for us to be able to convert Vertcoin over to Bitcoin using the Lightning Network, and we're looking to build this into the one-click miner. So, like, one of the things that's extremely appealing to people who use services like NiceHash is that they put their hashing miner, they put it up there and people bid on it and they get paid in Bitcoin because, and especially if they have GPUs, they can't mine Bitcoin directly themselves. So this is a way for them to be able to earn Bitcoin using their hashing power. Well, our goal, and JK's going to showcase this, is to make the one-click miner have that same type of functionality using the Lightning Network in order to be able to convert Vertcoin directly over to Satoshi. So, as you can see here, I'll put the link to this. Anybody that's in our Discord, you've seen this link. but this is where you can keep exact track of kind of how the fork is going. But if you want to, you can get to that link right over here on the vertcoin.org website. So on this website, you can see, let me make sure that, yep, so we're sending that out there. So on the vertcoin.org website, at the very top, we have approximately when the fork is going to be happening. But on here, you can also get the one-click miner. So right here, you can click here and get the one-click miner. You can also download our core wallet. So one of the key things that is necessary in the fork is that at least 51% of the network and the network is the core wallet. So that's the how transactions are validated and everything between the different wallets. 51% of the network does need to be on the new, latest, and greatest wallet in order for that fork to be successful. So now you may have people who are on wallets that are 3 years old. If anyone has coins on wallets that are outdated, you need to, one, back your wallet up, and then two, you need to upgrade to the new wallet. Then you can do transactions on the new wallet because you will be on the latest chain. Because when that hard fork happens, it is absolutely hard in the sense of if you don't go with everybody else over to Verthash and the latest one, you're stuck out here on an island by yourself. Now, theoretically, you could transfer things to other users who are on a older version of the wallet, but there's probably not going to be anybody mining on that particular chain, so your transactions are never going to get to go through. So long story short, make sure you have the latest wallet. So the latest wallet, you can download it right here from the website, but go over to our GitHub. It is 0.17.1. So this does have some of the latest and greatest Bitcoin upstream security updates built into it. But this also has the Verthash fork built into it as well. So make sure you upgrade to this. I'm going to throw this into the chat here real quick. So this is where you go in order to get your core wallet, and you can have that open. So whenever you go to open your core wallet, so you'll see what this looks like here. So when you bring this over, so you can see here, loading Verthash data file into RAM. So this is going to be one of the main things that you're going to look for inside of your core wallet. I don't have anything in my wallet for this demonstration, but here you can see the Bitcoin core developers, Vertcoin core developers. So you just make sure that all of this is set up. So it's loading the block index. Now it does take a second, especially when you first launch the 0.17.1 wallet. It has to build out that verthash.dat file, which is just over a gig. It's going to be located on your hard drive, but that's one of the key differentiating factors in the new wallet, which I'll throw this over here. I got to do some syncing. It's been about 2 weeks since I've opened up the wallet, but if you come under help, about Vertcoin Core, this is where you're going to want to make sure you have the right wallet version right here. So just make sure that you're all set up there, and you will be, if you have this wallet open, you will be part of the network and be counted on the network for supporting the fork over to Verthash. Bittrex is already supporting the fork. Treasure and Lord, I can't remember the name of the other hardware wallet. Those are already supporting the fork. So we've already contacted a bunch of different vendors and everybody who basically has been supporting Vertcoin over the years, letting them know about the fork, that it's coming. So they are upgrading all of their infrastructure to be set to go for the fork that's going to be happening this Saturday. One other way that you can support the fork is with the easy one-click miner. So the Vertcoin one-click miner 2.0. This is the release candidate 2. I imagine YurtJep is going to be putting out a final release here soon. But this, so it's not going to be showing the fork countdown on testnet because the fork countdown is now on the mainnet. But you can download the one-click miner here, and you can start mining Verthash right away. It will automatically switch over from the Layer 2 Rev 3 over to Verthash as soon as you get to that 1,500,000 block. So there also, if you want, so let me put this out here as well. So this is the release candidate 2. I would wait. You can use the release candidate 2, but I would wait for the final version that should be coming out here within a few days. if you want to use the one-click miner. However, if you are an advanced miner, if you're someone who has been mining for a really long time and you're good with command line and stuff of that nature, then you can come and get the actual Verthash miner directly from Cryptographics, which is the developer who built this miner. So while our team is very talented in their capabilities inside of the crypto sphere, unfortunately, we do not have a GPU miner developer on staff. I mean, we're all volunteers, but it's not inside of the team. So this is one of those things where we had to outsource this. Cryptographics is the same individual that made our Layer 2 Rev 3 Team Red miners. So some of the latest miners that we had for Layer 2 Rev 3 that we had, basically what happens is that we employ Cryptographics to build the miner. He builds the miner internally, and then when we pay him, he makes the source code for that miner open source. So just like everything that we do, everything's open source, so anybody can go in and just make sure that everything is on the up and up when it comes to code. But if you want to use the direct Verthash miner, there's a link to where you can download that. Now, the one-click miner uses this Verthash miner inside of it, but the ability to be able to just run this. So what I'm actually going to do real quick is I'm actually going to download the one-click miner and show you exactly how easy it is to get up and running. So let me open this up here. So we're going to open the one-click miner .exe. So when we do that, it is coming over here to my other. So you can see it is installing the mining software. So what this does is it automatically starts, it installs. This is the hard fork. So you can see the in how many blocks. So you're going to want to restart your one-click miner afterwards. And, you know, so right now it's going to start mining. I'm going to stop it from mining just because I am doing encoding and all kinds of other good stuff here on this computer. But this wallet right here, as soon as you install your first one-click miner, it's going to ask you to put in a password. So what this does is it just gives you a password associated with that. So whenever you go to send any coins, then you have to put in that wallet password. But you don't have to download a wallet. You don't have to download the miner. The one-click miner software does all of it for you. On your settings, you can come over here to enable debugging, auto start. You can use closed source miner. So this is something that Verthash right now, the only miner that at least I'm aware of, and chat, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but the only miner right now is the Cryptographics Verthash miner. Because that's open source, that means that all of these other miners out there that everybody uses for Ethash and things of that nature, they can get that open source code. Then they build an optimized version, or they build their own version of a Verthash miner. And if that becomes more powerful or better optimized in order to get better hash rates and stuff of that nature, then a lot of times we will include that closed source miner into the one-click miner. You just come in here and click this. You can see you'll get a little pop-up that says, hey, Vertcoin does not endorse these because we cannot look at the code. And normally some of these will actually have a dev tax associated with them. So one thing with Vertcoin and the Cryptographics Verthash miner, there is no dev tax. So you get 100% of what you mine. Whereas a lot of these other miners and stuff of that nature, they'll charge you 1-2%. And that goes to them and that helps pay for things. Granted, trust me, it would be amazing from a funding perspective if the development team did something like that, but in conjunction with our standard, community contract, look, if you want to donate to the team in order to help with development and things of that nature, by all means do so. But we will never take from the community just by being able to provide software. The goal is that we want everybody to be able to mine and be able to keep what they earn with their mining system. So that quick, I'm able to get the one-click miner installed. You just put in the password and boom, you're off to the races as far as mining. So wanted to get those in front of you guys so you can see that. Now I'm actually going to bring in JK. So JK, I'm going to unmute you here real quick. So thanks for joining us on this episode of Vertcoin Talk. We are going to go over to the Verthash explainer image that you set up here. And actually, let me make this a little bit bigger just so people are able to see it here. So I'm going to make my window just a little bit smaller. If you can, go over kind of what is Verthash, how did we get here, and explain what we're actually seeing with this Verthash explainer graphic.
Hi, I would like to thank to the Vertcoin community for patience during this trip with Verthash, and I may describe some details about this algorithm. The base for this algorithm was drafted by Tadeusz Dryja, which is also creator of Lightning Network. So this paper was also base for Ethash, and because the starting point was the same, so we have algorithm which is also similar to Ethash in some areas, but thanks to this that Ethash is in the game for a long time, we were able to fix some things and improve some things. And on the screen, I try to show in simple words what is going on there. We have 80-byte header, which is starting point for searching block, and then we are making 8-time hashing function, which is modern hashing function, SHA3, and this is actually part of heavy computing part. This is what we are trying to suppress in this algorithm. This way we get 512 bytes of random array, and the next step is to expand this area, expand this array by bitwise rotation, which is opposite to the first phase is light computing phase. So it's nice way to make to expand this data, and this way we have pseudo random array. Size is 16 kilobytes, which means we have almost more than 4,000 pointers to our Verthash.file, which is heart of this algorithm actually. So thanks to these pointers, we can make IO bound phase, which is searching for data in this Verthash.file. And the procedure is like we are searching for first chunk. It's 32 bytes chunk of data. We need to search them, and we have second pointer, and make it complicate. We change second pointer on the fly, and the position is different than it was on the beginning. So every read from Verthash.file change also next pointer. So this is some kind of chain, yet another chain here. So if you want to know last value of last pointer, you must go through every data, every one of 4,000 chunks, and finally you can say which is the last place in the Verthash dot. So this is some kind of chain, and this is more or less how it looks like. At the end of algorithm, we combine all those 4,000 data in one hash with some very quick function, which is similar to XOR. And this way we have block hash candidate, and we check normal way if this is solution or not. If not, just we increase nonce and make the same procedure again until we have the solution, the block solved. This is the whole description.
Yep, yeah, and this is, I mean, so we're getting pretty detailed in kind of how we're going about actually doing the hashing function. So one of the things that a lot of people have seen whenever we're doing testing, which if you're not in the Vertcoin Discord, you haven't necessarily been able to be a part of the testing of Verthash. We've released some stuff on social media, things of that nature, but like all of the hashing powers of the different graphics cards and stuff of that nature, we've all been combining that inside of the Vertcoin mining section. So if you get into Discord, go into the mining section, you can see what's expected as far as hashing power. But for example, I think, let me pull it up here, the hashing power for like just, I have a 2080 Ti, but my hashing power is vastly different on Verthash than it is on Layer 2 Rev 3, simply because of the different types of computing that's happening here. And one of the big things that we wanted to do with Verthash was to make it as IO bound as possible. That way we can kind of just keep pushing that hedge of, you know, just hedging our bets versus ASICs and stuff of that nature, and keep the optimization as high as possible when it comes to graphics cards. So let's see, JK, did you want to go over any more of this image, or did you want to go to the screen share that you want to do to showcase some pretty cool functionality that we're going to look to incorporate into the one-click miner?
Let me only say,
Sure.
answer the question which already appeared. What is the difference between Verthash and Ethash? This is maybe quite interesting. There are some differences. For example, we don't use DAC file, which is growing in Ethash. We are using static file Verthash.dat, which is done only once, and our solution is the answer for such risk in Ethash, which is named on-the-fly mining. Because in Ethash there is non-zero probability that you may set such device which is constructing parts of DAC file on the fly very fast, and you are not you don't need to search into memory, but only recreate some parts of this file in some very fast on-chip memory and benefit from them very much. So this is the difference. Our Verthash.dat file is proof for such situation, and thanks to James and GetJob, we have such robust solution instead of DAC file. And another difference. This is main difference. Maybe other differences are also, but not such important maybe.
Okay. And I did want to talk about real quick. So one of the pieces of software that you're not seeing in here that I've put up here is specifically P2 Proxy. So P2 Proxy is used in the one-click miner in order to make it so you don't have to have a wallet or anything of that nature installed. So James right now is working on getting P2 Proxy ready for the fork. He said it's highly likely that P2 Proxy won't be ready for the fork. So people should expect to solo mine or use P2 pool directly rather than the one-click miner. So we're trying to get that done before the fork. We're running into some possible bugs and things of that nature. So James is currently working on that now. He's working on that in conjunction with your JEP. So while the one-click miner is a great tool to be able to get a new person in for mining, wait for that final version. So right now we're on release candidate 2, so we are working on some bugs there, because what one-click miner does, one-click miner uses P2 Proxy in order to keep the coins that you're mining available, and then you can send those to a wallet. So whenever I had let's see, that was my wallet there. Where's my where I had, yeah, so I'm gonna start the one-click miner here real quick. So whenever you first start the one-click miner, I'm gonna stop the mining, but the coins are stored via P2 Proxy. That's why you don't have to have a wallet. And then you receive, then you can send those coins to a exchange, to a core wallet, what have you, and then you just input your wallet password. So once you see an announcement from us that P2 Proxy is ready to go for the fork, then start using the one-click miner, and we'll probably put out a final release candidate for the one-click miner. Until then, do solo mining or use P2 Proxy, or not P2 Proxy, P2 Pool in order to do your mining of Verthash right off the bat, and you can use the Verthash miner. So we're trying to get it done before we get wrapped up with the fork, but it does look like they're having some technical issues that we're trying to work some bugs out with the P2 Proxy system in order to get the one-click miner fully functional when it comes to the hash or to Verthash fork. So, JK, if you want to share your screen real quick, let's go ahead and move on over to the demo that you want to showcase on what we're looking to do as far as being able to get Verthash, the one-click miner, to be able to basically just kind of act like a nice hash in a sense. I'll let you take it away. Nope, make sure you're not muted.
Okay.
Yep, there you
go. Let me describe what is submarine swap at first. It is some kind of atomic swap, specific atomic swap, when one part of smart contract is on-chain and another second one is off-chain. In reality, off-chain is of course Bitcoin, and integration with other coins is possible because we have, for example, Submarine swap between Litecoin and Bitcoin. So there is also possibility to swap Litecoin for Vertcoin, and that was the main idea to do it and to verify how it works. And I know there is only several places in internet when you can make Submarine swap. I know Submarine swaps.org, which is like proof of concept page. And you can execute such Submarine swap here, and for example change Litecoin for Bitcoin Lightning Network. There is another site which I may recommend because I have used it several times, and every time everything was okay. This is Bolt's Exchange. They are focused on adoption of Lightning Network, and also has open source their code. So this is great idea, and the way which we promote. Actually, on the screen we can change Litecoin also into Lightning Network Bitcoin, and it's more advanced user interface for sure. Actually, we can change Litecoin into it instantly. So this is possible in internet, but we would like to make it for Vertcoin and also as simple as usually simple is, for example, one-click miner. So we would like to have something like one-click Submarine swap, where you don't need to fill any fields actually, or minimum fields. So the idea was to implement it inside the one-click miner, which is obvious direction. It was obvious direction, and this is the one thing which is necessary on PC side, and second thing which is necessary here is Lightning wallet. And there are several Lightning wallets right now, but only one of them is so easy to use and has such intuitive and simple user interface that can be used by average Joe, and I already tried that this is true. So it matched to our idea of one-click miner and matched very well.
Yeah, I can attest to it being pretty user friendly because I downloaded it, and it, if I can use it, anybody can.
What I would like to say is that if you want to have global adoption of Lightning Network, the Lightning Network wallet must be simple, and definitely Phoenix wallet is the right answer here. Maybe the only answer right now. Okay. So there is an Android version of this wallet. This is non-custodial wallet, of course, and but I know that they have this company, Acinku, has also iOS solution right now, but is already on testnet, Bitcoin testnet. So I suppose we will have it quite soon on mainnet, on Bitcoin mainnet. And let me start one-click miner on my computer. And let me show you my mobile phone here. One-click miner is started, so we can find the backlog. And here we have second line is information where we should connect our mobile phone. This is address of my local IP of my computer, which is mining right now. And I may copy this into QR code creator, for example, just to have it fast on my mobile phone. Okay. Let me scan this address and open. And now I'm connected to one-click miner. You can Okay. Oh, that's better. We can see some basic information from one-click miner on my mobile phone. Spendable balance, current hash rate, but what is most interesting, we can swap our balance into some amount of Bitcoin Satoshi. I'm not sure if you hear me.
Yep.
Could you?
Yeah.
Okay, so
I can hear you.
I had some information about my hotspot, but maybe it's okay right now.
Yep. It's
Okay.
good.
So so now we need to switch to the Phoenix wallet and make invoice, which is not greater than the amount of Satoshi we can swap. And this is a quite easy way to do. We tap on receive, then we tap on small icon below QR code to edit Lightning invoice, and let me put, for example, okay, let me put oops. Okay, one more time. This time it's okay. Okay, I'm creating invoice for 1,000 Satoshi. Then I tap into QR code to copy into clipboard. We can see this Lightning invoice is now copied into clipboard of mobile phone. Then we switch back to our mobile interface towards one-click miner, and we press the button copy from clipboard. Then we have our invoice inside this field below. Of course, we can provide password to OCM and just click Submarine swap and wait a bit.
Yeah, what's normally the average time that it takes for that submarine swap to happen? Isn't it about a minute or so, or is it a little bit less?
Okay, sorry,
It's already done.
I'm a bit busy, yeah? Okay. Now we have confirmation of our swap. We swapped some Vertcoins into 1,000 Satoshi. Our Lightning Network wallet should be top up soon, and we can check here transaction which is correlated with our process. So let's see, unconfirmed transaction. So we need to wait a bit for confirmation of this transaction. I may see it also on my PC probably, or not. Okay, let me go back to my mobile. And now we're switching to the Phoenix Lightning Network wallet Phoenix, and we will wait for one confirmation to see if it works or not.
So the idea would be you have the Phoenix wallet. This is on your mobile device, and that's a Lightning-enabled wallet, but you're doing all of this submarine swapping directly inside of the one-click miner.
Yeah, and almost with single click.
Yep. And what you guys are seeing right now, this is really kind of the proof of concept. This is really just taking, using all the functionality, that we're going to build that into the one-click miner so it is very user-friendly. Because one of the things that, like I said before, NiceHash, one of their benefits is that, you can mine whatever and you get paid in Bitcoin. But now you can mine Vertcoin with the one-click miner and convert your VTC directly over to Satoshis, and you can utilize things like the Phoenix Lightning wallet in order to be able to have that received over to you.
In the meantime, I just found the unconfigured transaction, which is on bottom of our Explorer. So that's the reason I didn't find that first shot. So we need to wait for block, which may take several minutes.
Yeah, so the 2.5
Uh,
block time.
we also, yeah, it may work also with zero confirmation mode, but this is not recommended. So
Yep.
let's wait for single confirmation to see if it works.
Okay.
Let's check also the user interface right now. We see that spendable balance is lower right now, and we can swap yet another amount of Satoshi gain. Okay, let's check again Phoenix wallet and wait for the confirmation. What is important here that there is no third party here. This is Submarine swap is like is kind of atomic swap, and in this case you have non-custodial solution, and you either swap your Vertcoin for Lightning Network Bitcoin, or this transaction is not done, and you can refund your Vertcoins back to your address, and transaction is wipe.
Mm-hmm.
Or
And we it was about a year or so ago. I mean, we were really big into the Lit network, the Lightning network that was being developed inside of MIT and stuff of that nature, and they kind of abandoned that project to shoot for other things. We're still, and this showcases, we're still actively looking at things inside of the Lightning network instead of us really just heavily focusing on one particular Lightning solution. We're looking at ways to make the Lightning network work in the benefit of the users who are mining and who are using things inside of the Vertcoin ecosystem.
as we can see, there is blocks 6 minutes ago, so there was many blocks in short period, so we need to wait a bit for the next one.
Well, this is
Probably.
doing it live. Sometimes these little things happen. Let me see if I have any questions here in the chat we can take real quick while we're waiting for that block to confirm here real quick. So can you show how to solo mine or P2 pool? I was hoping for one-click miner at the fork. This was Greg. So I tell you what, I am not prepped right now on my computer to do that, Greg, but I tell you what I will do between now and fork day. So maybe tomorrow, let me see when I can find some time in my schedule. I can show you exactly how to do that. I'll do a broadcast with it. In the meantime, go ahead.
We are just received.
There you go. Yep. So we just received our Satoshis through the Lightning Network. So just like that, we're able to get that squared away. Greg, in the meantime, what I would advise you, I'll try and show that on a stream. I got to see what my schedule looks like between now and this fork. But swing over into our Discord, go into the mining section, and there's a team of people that are really heavily dedicated to mining inside of Vertcoin. They will be able to help and show you exactly what you need to do in order to get it set up for solo mining or with P2 pool. And I'll see if I can ask them in there real quick in the mining help section. Any step-by-step guides on solo mining or P2 pool for Verthash? I'm asking them if they have any sort of built-out documentation or anything of that nature that we can share with you. But Greg, I'll try and get a live stream squared away so that we can, so I can show how to solo mine or how to mine with P2 pool. All right, go ahead, JK.
It's working. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it looks. I mean, just that simple, you're able to convert VTC over to BTC.
Yep. And the idea is to be like on-ramp Bitcoin system. Yeah, Vertcoin can be like on-ramp Bitcoin system surrounding Bitcoin and allows for every Joe to jump into cryptocurrency, Vertcoin and Bitcoin together, and lower the barrier as much as possible for such average Joe.
Yep. And Greg, let me see if I can get right here. I'm going to send you over. So this is a Reddit thread that we had posted when it came to the testnet for Verthash, but it gives you basically almost all of the instructions when it comes to actually doing this for the live fork. So where you see the or the test network for the wallet and stuff of that nature, you're just going to be using it live. This was actually done by BDF, one of our mods inside of the Discord. I might see if he can actually get that set up for the actual live as well. So I'll see. Let's see. So command line only. Here we go. So here's another item. So I'll throw this up on my screen here real quick. So configurable examples. Let me go back here. So as you can see here, there are some command line only on the cryptographics Verthash miner. This will give you a full list of solo mining using Git block template. So this is where you would put your information with regards to pool mining with Stratum. So, but you can find this content here. I'll throw this over into the chat as well, just so you guys can see that. So all of this came from our helping section on Vertcoin, in the Vertcoin miner section of the Discord. I asked a simple question like that. I was able to get a ton of information. I am not I'm a power user when it comes to mining, but it is not my forte when it comes to the space. There's a lot of people inside of the community that is much more advanced when it comes to mining than I am. But yeah, that's the place to go if you have any questions or anything like that. So, cool. JK, anything else that you wanted to showcase to us with this solution?
I may only say that it looks like it is finished, but it is not finished. Actually, two very important things under the hood are missing. And because this refund procedure is quite complicated, so it must be made in this way, which don't require customer service for such swaps. When you have, for example, balls, you can always go and ask and ask for help. And our solution is the plan is to make it as a simple and standalone solution, which works as standalone solution and is automatically. For example, when something goes wrong, the OCM miner should refund Vertcoins automatically. This is the idea to do. To make it automatic to the limits.
Yeah, so basically, if there's a problem or something like that, it automatically gets refunded right back to your VTC. So it's not like you lose anything.
There is some file here which contains some information which must be used in case of try of refund. When you didn't get your satoshis, yeah. So that's the way to do, and this is not finished yet.
Yep. So we're still in the process of getting this built out, but we wanted to show, and JK really wanted to show you guys, because he had announced this. Like I think, when did you announce this actually happened? I'm looking back here through the Vertcoin updates, where
it was Submarine swap announcement, if I could remember.
Yeah, I'm trying to see when was that, because it was. I mean, it was probably about a month or so ago, is when we first.
2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see.
2 weeks probably.
Yeah. So, we announced that we were, this type of technology was getting implemented.
It was highlight as milestone on CoinGecko.
Oh yeah. Yep. So I had pushed that out on our CoinGecko to let everybody know that that's kind of the next step that we're looking to do to just help people have a more user-friendly experience when it comes to just operating inside of the crypto space. Was there anything else that you wanted to showcase today on the demo, or are we all set there?
It's okay.
Okay. Awesome. Well, I wanted to thank JK for joining us today. This is the first time on the talk. A lot of valuable information and a extremely intelligent person when it comes to the crypto space, and just I've been able to observe him in our development channels, just kind of deducing problems, coming up with creative solutions and things of that nature. So I wanted to thank him for joining us on the talk today in order to explain and to kind of showcase these submarine swaps and kind of how we're looking to build that into the one-click miner, so that you don't really need a degree in computer science in order to be able to utilize that. Making it as user-friendly as possible is what increases adoption, is what increases the people using it. This is why people use NiceHash as opposed to mining via command line, is because it's simple, easy, and it makes it very intuitive. Let me see. I want to see if there's any other questions that we have here. Let's see. Thanks for being on the stream, JK. So you're getting thanks inside the chat here for joining. So we're definitely gonna have to have you back again for another show. Maybe one day I can get you, James, and your Jap all on, and you guys can kind of just discuss things the way you normally do inside of the chats, but kind of have like a little fireside chat thing here. I'm just going through these other things. So let's see. P2 pool is ready. I think that's, if I go over here to the Vertcoin project, I think we have, P2 pool right here. So if we go 2.0 is the latest P2 pool network. So this is for layer 2 rev 3. I have to check with James because this, we haven't gotten that updated just yet for the Verthash. Let me double check with him. So pay attention to our social media. Get into the Discord. If you really want last minute updates as far as Discord goes, we have the Vertcoin updates section inside of the news area inside of the Discord, and that's where we post updates and news things there before anywhere else. So a lot of times, if I'm working and stuff of that nature, I don't have a time to put it out on social media right then. You'll see a lot of times with our social media, I'm putting things out kind of in bursts, and that's just because we're working and everybody's kind of doing their day jobs, and we're trying to get this information out as fast as possible. But if you want to be the first to know, you can go and check that out inside of the Discord. I'm going to post a link to the Discord. So it is, where's our chat here? So our Discord, we're a partner with Discord, so it's pretty easy. So if you go to discord.gg/Vertcoin, that will get you right into the Discord there. Let's see. Just looking through, see if we have any other questions you guys might have for me or for JK. This is a pretty straightforward talk today. We don't have a full dev update that we're doing. We have been purely focused on this fork over the last 4 months or so. Let's see. Yeah, so one thing to take note of, and they're pointing out here in the chat, is that when you do install crypto miners and stuff of that nature, your Windows Defender, any sort of antivirus system that you have in there is going to flag that. I know the one-click miner, we are getting that approved. We have a, I can't remember what it's called, but it's basically an authentication key that we have with the software in order for Microsoft Windows Defender to not go after that particular piece of software. But when it goes to install the miner, I don't know if that miner also could get flagged. So this is mining 101. Whenever you've used a mining system, your antivirus and stuff will always try and flag that. You just have to whitelist it, and then it's all set and good to go. So yeah, you're welcome, Greg, for that. Let's see. I don't see any other questions in here. I'm just trying to go back to see if we see anything. People asking when we're going to get on exchanges and stuff of that nature. Like I've said, anybody who's ever watched one of our shows before, you know that at the end of the day, if an exchange has Bitcoin, they can have Vertcoin. It's not that hard for them to add it. Most of the time, exchanges want lots and lots of money in order to get a project onto an exchange, and we don't pay for exchange listing. We don't have a pre-mine, we don't have an ICO, we don't tax our miners in order for us to have a war chest of funds in order to be able to pay for that type of thing. And we've tried to do fundraisers in the past. Like one of the funding methods that we're doing now is we're actually, instead of having just a wallet address where people can donate whenever they like, we're actually shifting over to the bounty system. So basically, we figure out a project that we want to go after. So for example, the one-click miner, which the new version 2.0 one-click miner that Verthash built, this was a bounty style system. So basically he said it's going to take me X number of hours, and my hourly rate when it comes to doing coding and stuff is this is what I'd like to get paid for the system. Anybody who wants to donate towards this, once I hit the goal, then I'll start off and running, and I can dedicate time to this. So that's that's how it was built. It's an amazing piece of software. It's super easy. It really ties into the one-click mantra. And then the work that JK is doing right now is just going to build on top of that. So, when you see these bounties pop out inside of Discord, inside of Reddit, on a Reddit page, on Twitter and stuff of that nature, that's us looking to do a new piece of software, an advancement inside of the Vertcoin ecosystem, and then we're soliciting funds for that particular project. Because in the past, we kind of had a pool of coins, and then the dev team really got feedback from the community, but then we use that pool in order to fund different projects. So for the miners, for Verthash, that basically took up the remainder of the funds that we had in those pool wallets. And now we're moving purely to a bounty system, depending on the type of content that we're looking to do or the type of software we're trying to build. The community, if they deem it appropriate for the team, then they can fund that in order to get it built. So, and all of that's open. Everybody can track it as far as people who are donating. We're very upfront. That's something that if you've never been in the Vertcoin community or ever talked to any of the developers, we're highly accessible when we're not at work or spending time with family, but we're highly accessible and we're very open about everything that we do. Everything's open source. We don't hide anything. Nothing is closed around here. So if you ever have any questions or anything like that, first place to jump into is going to be the Discord. Not sure if this is the right place to ask, but what happened to the Vertcoin Foundation? This is actually the perfect place to ask. So the Vertcoin Foundation was initially going to be a 501c3. So that's a tax, or it's a nonprofit inside of the United States where you would be able to submit, you'd be able to give money and you would be able to tax deduct it. Well, so we went back and forth with the IRS, spent about $1,000 in legal fees and submittals to the IRS and things of that nature. And the IRS said, no, you cannot be a 501c3. And one of the reasons that we weren't able to is because we didn't lie on our applications. We didn't say that, we're going to do grants. So that's one of the key things, the key phrases that we were doing is, and something else, another reason why we moved away from the pools of donate addresses on our website, the IRS actually used those donation addresses against us in saying that we were already soliciting funds, even though we were not an approved 501c3, and that, so they were using that as a reason not to grant us nonprofit status. So we are shifting away from that. We're still trying to figure out if we go the option is either instead of the bounty system where we actually have a bounty and then we collect funds for that and we pay. We could go back to the collecting money and storing it as a foundation, and then we can do grants. So when it comes to these types of things, the word that you use matters more than what you're actually doing. So we could grant an amount of funds to a developer to do a particular project. So we're still trying to figure out how we want to go about doing that. 501c6 is not tax deductible from a donations perspective, but it is a non-taxed entity. So that's one of the main things. One of the caveats that we had to do is make sure that whatever the legal entity was over Vertcoin is that it was a non-taxable entity. Because if we're getting donations for software and then we're using all of that, we're not keeping any for profit or anything, so that doesn't make sense. And then we also don't want we don't want those funds to be taxed by the government because those funds were given for production and for coding inside of the Vertcoin ecospace. So we're still trying to figure out what that looks like as far as a entity for Vertcoin. Right now, we are not going through. We could have appealed the IRS as far as the 501c3, but we felt that it wasn't a good idea to waste the money on that because I had the phone calls with the IRS and they were not receptive at all. In fact, they were very hostile to the whole idea of a cryptocurrency nonprofit. They didn't like it. Shocking. The IRS they really like to back the system of the government. So they weren't too big of a fan of that. So very advantageous from the get-go. But we're still working on it. The foundation, as far as the individuals who were a part of the foundation, they're still on the Vertcoin Foundation from a personnel perspective, but there just isn't a legal entity right now. So we're just trying to see what our best options are moving forward and what makes sense to give us the best use for the funds that are given to or donated to us, because it's something else that if you've never been around here before, we don't waste money. We are very ROI focused in the donations that have been given to us or the funds that have been given to us and using them to get the maximum impact out of them. So that's something else that we're doing as well. So, lawyers are expensive. Unfortunately, nobody on our team is a lawyer. If somebody knows a lawyer who likes to do things pro bono or would like to help the team out, that would be greatly beneficial as well. That vastly reduces the cost of things. But that's kind of where we are with the Vertcoin Foundation. Some other projects, they've actually they've done foundations and they're not real legal entities. They're just a foundation in name only. When we do stuff, we try and do it right so that if ever there is an audit, if ever the SEC, just starts slapping around the cryptocurrency community, we always fall on the right side of regulation and stuff of that nature. But unfortunately, when you do that, it costs money, it costs time, and it costs doing things the right way. So we're still steadily looking through on what's the best way to go about doing that. Let's see. Just going through here, I think we should look into a bounty for Electrum VTC. So Electrum has not been updated. I think James is not looking to... so James was hosting the server for Electrum and it wasn't getting a ton of use. But if you guys really want to get Electrum over to the Verthash fork and things of that nature, let's talk with James, go into the development channel inside of Discord, and let's just show him kind of the, if that would be a viable option. Let's see. Let's see. There aren't any moments. Sorry, I'm just trying to go through your questions here real quick. I want to answer them while I'm on here. So yeah, once final release for one-click miner, what we're going to be doing, Verton, is which actually I can probably make you a wrench in here because you are a mod inside of the Discord. So we will be restarting Google Ads and some type of advertising just to get the word out about the one-click miner. So we want to make sure the one-click miner is 100% ready to go and there isn't any issues or any shortcoming. I think having this submarine swap thing that we got to see from JK this evening, having that in the one-click miner is another value add to putting that money behind behind the different ads and stuff that we're looking at, because once again, it's ROI. So once we get the one-click miner to where it is in its kind of its final form when it comes to the fork, and then also if we can get the Submarine swap stuff in there, I think then we really start to push the monies that we have left over right now in our marketing pool fund towards those Google ads. So Google ads, we might try Facebook, we might try Twitter. It's one of the unfortunate things is that Twitter, Facebook, and Google too, they there's a lot of people demanding ad space on those spaces, so it's not cheap. I think last time we ran an ad buy for, I think it was like $500 worth of ads, and we got really good performance out of it and stuff of that nature. But it's constantly on my mind and everybody that's involved with the team. What's the best way to get this stuff out in front of people? I don't know if everybody saw that CoinMarketCap has removed their advertising banners now. They claimed it as a great thing, but when I inquired to advertising on CoinMarketCap, it was a $10,000 minimum just to get a banner up there. So, and that's something else that you'll find out, exchanges have gotten pissed off at us because when they come to us saying that they need, X number of dollars or X number of BTC in order to get us listed on the exchange, we let our community know, hey, this is what they're asking. And some exchanges get really pissed off about that. And some of them still hold a grudge to this day and they won't list Vertcoin because we had done that in the past, because at the end of the day, we don't have a pile of cash just sitting around. So we have to go to our community. If we want to do this, we need their help in order to be able to do that. But advertising inside of the crypto space, it seems like more and more people are moving away from it. And I don't know if it's because, like in the case of CoinMarketCap, if they just couldn't get people to fill that banner at the $10,000 minimum buy, or if they simply, I think they got bought by Binance, so I don't know if that just they supplement them. So, but yeah. So the term ROI, so ROI is return on investment. So if I have $1 and I'm going to give that dollar to an ad agency, the goal should be is that $1 is going to earn back enough people or enough value to be worth the $1. So if I have two options and I give $1 here and $1 here, and I get, 50 cents on my dollar back here, but I get 28 cents on my dollar back here, the one that's 50 cents is the best ROI on the expense that we're making in order to do advertising. So for example, if I spend $1, I'm using these as round numbers, but if I spend $1 on Facebook and $1 on Google, but I get a lot more traffic, a lot more downloads, and a lot more use out of the one-click miner from the Facebook ads are a better return on investment. So that's kind of what we're looking at when it comes to marketing metrics. As far as, we'll do samples here and there of, 50 or $100, and we gauge what's the best keywords, what's the best, platform in order to be able to do that advertising. And then once we figure out, okay, this looks to be our best ROI, then we start to pump some more money into that. Now, our funds aren't limitless, so that's why we try and do our best in order to make sure that that what we do have, we put to the best use. What's the return metric for Vertcoin? Downloading one-click miner, some sort of other... Yeah, so the return metric that we use for Vertcoin whenever spending these ads, specifically if we're advertising the one-click miner, is downloads of the one-click miner and then people actually using the one-click miner. Because the way that I think about it is if one person downloads the one-click miner and they're using it constantly, the probability of that single individual telling their friend or telling a family member, hey, this is super easy, you can get into cryptocurrency, and it kind of starts this snowball effect of being able to get other people, we didn't have to advertise to these other people, but word of mouth, which is the best form of advertising, that will get more people to download the one-click miner. So we make nothing off of the one-click miner. From a development perspective, we don't get any sort of tax or anything like that back, but we secure our network. So one of the things that's been a problem with Vertcoin is the low hash, and this is all low hash rate algorithms or coins that are on low hash rate algorithms. They are susceptible to, lack of a better term, assholes using rent-to-hash services to 51% attack the network. That's one reason why we have a 600 block waiting time inside of Bittrex. So the more people that we can get mining Verthash, and with Verthash using P2 Proxy and P2 Pool built into it, it's all there's no centralized mining authority such as someone who heads up a mining pool that can use that mining pool to attack the coin. So we get network security, we get easy user on ramp, we get people using the network. I mean, that's the value when it comes to doing the advertising. Let's see. Do you know what to mine? List Verthash on their website. I don't know if What to Mine is going to list it. I would imagine they will, but we do know that NiceHash is not supporting the Verthash algorithm. So if you guys didn't see it, I posted about it on Twitter, Facebook, Blockfolio, all that stuff. But NiceHash has told us they're not going to support the Verthash algorithm, which is great because we don't want NiceHash to be used against us or against anyone who's on Verthash. We don't want it used, in a negative light towards anybody. But unfortunately, NiceHash has not, I guess, done things in order to secure that their network isn't going to be used in a malicious action. So the next best thing is them saying they're not going to support the new algorithm, which is great. That's fine. And then that allows us to build in submarine swaps and stuff of that nature into the one-click miner, being able to hopefully one day take away people who use NiceHash, and they can start using the Vertcoin one-click miner. So let's see. Now, the downside is that the one-click miner is for Vertcoin. It's not for all the algorithms that are out there, so you're not going to have the instant profit switching. So there may be a little bit less efficient as far as mining, but it's, you're not renting out your equipment that could possibly be used in a malicious manner. You have no control over where your hash power goes. It's just whoever is the highest bidder. Let's see. Hey, Red Panda Mining. Hey, good to see you, man. So you're going to be making a video talking about the hard fork and all this stuff. Yeah, so I'll reach out to you, Red Panda. So he's a YouTuber. If you haven't checked out his YouTube channel, Red Panda Mining, he started to dabble a little bit into ASICs in his mining barn, and I've been keeping up with him just a little bit whenever I'm able to look at YouTube and stuff of that nature. But yeah, it'll be cool to see what your video is tomorrow. That's awesome. Let's see. When can we finally see Vertcoin strong? I assume you're talking about price, which, one thing that we don't do on the Vertcoin talk, or really you'll never see a developer say anything about it, is the price. We don't really talk about that. One, because of SEC regulations. We don't want to get on the bad side of the SEC if they ever were to come down and say that, the team behind the project is trying to influence the price or anything of that nature. We try to be a bystander when it comes to that. Who knows? We'll see. There's nothing wrong with it going up in price, but we have no control over what the price is or the price market or anything of that. That's up to everybody inside of the community to figure that out. Let's see. The one-click miner could be a direct download like the wallet. Get it specialized and perhaps a bit niche. Yeah, that might be something that we can do. I know one of the reasons why we link over to the GitHub is so that when new things come out, John, it's automatically in that repository. So that might be something that we can do once we get the final version of the one-click miner squared away there for this release. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the stream short here. Well, not short. I mean, we've been going for now over an hour. Want to thank JK for joining me on this episode of Vertcoin Talk. I want to thank him for showcasing the Submarine swap. That's really cool technology and completely outside of my wheelhouse, but it's awesome to be able to showcase that stuff. I am going to get ready to go grab some dinner with my wife. So I want to thank all of you guys for joining us here on this episode of Vertcoin Talk. We will be uploading a podcast version of this to SoundCloud, and so you should be able to get it wherever you get your podcasts and stuff if you want to listen to this again. There will also be an on-demand demand of this on the Vertcoin YouTube channel. Please like and subscribe. I don't do this. It's kind of cringing for me, but would love for you guys to subscribe to the Vertcoin YouTube channel. We don't do as much content as we used to. We normally do it on a quarterly basis. I'll jump on here from time to time. If you want that daily type of content, places like Red Panda Mining, that's where you would want to go in order to be able to get that, because they're constantly doing things on a daily. I commend him. There's no way I could do that with my schedule and stuff of that nature. But we will be coming back. Our next dev update, assuming that nothing goes wrong with the fork, which there is no reason why it shouldn't. Once the fork is squared away, everybody's happy. All the exchanges, all the partner groups and everything that are switching over to Verthash, once everybody is all set, then I think we're going to be focusing full time on getting the Submarine swap thing into the one-click miner. So that would be our next big update that's coming out of the Vertcoin team. Do like the video, do like the page, or subscribe to the channel. If you have any interest whatsoever in cryptocurrency development, people like JK, James, Yurtjap, Etang, Alex, who is a developer, all of these guys are in the Discord. And if you just want to get your toe wet and just start to dig into this type of stuff, please come into the Discord and hang out. You'll learn so much. I'm not a coder, but I've learned so much over the last almost half a decade now that I've been involved with the team. But we're going to go ahead and call the stream there. Thanks everybody for joining us, and we will see you guys in the next one.